Like you're
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
I feel like it's been forever, but I am back. We are back. Into the Lab is here. We took a week off so we could feature the Butthole and the NFL Draft and the Source podcast. I am happy to be joined here by some colleagues of unfamiliar faces because they have been very MIA, but I'm excited because Kenny Cotterill is back on today's show. Kenny, what's going on, my man?
Well, of course you're excited for me to be on. I mean, I make the show every time I make an appearance. Like, the fans clamor for it. What else could they ask for? I mean, I'm excited to be here. It's not like I do a daily show or anything now. So, like, I've got so much time on my hands and super excited to be here, chat some NFL draft because I'm so locked into the NFL draft and NBA and everything else that happens on ITL.
I mean, Kenny, honestly, you and I joked last time we were on here that you would be making your return to BCMG, and we laughed about it, made some inside innuendos, and all of a sudden, he's back, guys. He's back. Kenny, back with the BCMG family. I'm glad to have you back, man. Glad to have you back.
Well, how can you not? Like, I'm the founder. Like, Steve was around, but, like, I was the founder. So, like, it's monumental stuff, really.
Not here to defend himself, so I'm gonna roll.
100% why I'm saying it.
1,000%.
That's got to be the truth. That's got to be the truth. Also, somebody who you don't recognize on your screen is a man wearing a black hat with a red emblem. That's right. Andrew Con Sutton is making his return. The sports scientist of long forgotten days is returned to ITL. Andrew, what's going on?
Man, I can't even recall the last time I've been on this show, but it feels good to be back. There's some commotion going on in Peanuts World, so that took away from my intro. Nonetheless, I will tell you this: I am back, and I will be back quite often. So, hot takes will be back. I can't wait. Let's go.
All right. Well, Andrew, you're sparking familiarity because we have a special guest coming in just a moment that's going to be making his return to ITL. But on top of that, we have the return of the man, the myth, the legend. That's right, Coach Peanut, the Browns Cavs master himself. What's going on, Coach?
Don't forget the Guardians. We got to throw the Guardians out there. I too am clamoring for Kenny. That's why I'm on here tonight. I just want to throw that out there. I really appreciate you having me on tonight because we're going to get into the top 10 list of, and this is an official list for 2022 of fast food French fries. I guess we're going to do it at the end of the show, so I cannot wait to get into that.
Yeah, Coach, we're going to talk a lot about you. I just remembered the last time I had Andrew. I didn't go look it up. I just remembered it. It was when the Cowboys actually had a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's a long time, bud. A long time.
95?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So, guys, I'm excited for tonight's episode. Of course, I'm your host, Ernest Silva. Of course, the host you love the most other than Kenny, since we're all going to be preaching Kenny today. But, of course, that's not a glitch you saw flash across your screen. That's right. That is Glitch Energy. Great plug, Lana. Great plug. Of course, Lana Mendoza doing the back end work there. Glitch Energy. Use code BCMG for 25% off today. That's not only to help yourself, but also help your favorite shows and streamers at BCMG. Glitch with a Y. glitchenergy.com. 25% off today using code BCMG. Now, Blue Collar Media Group is not only just shows and streamers, but we're live events. We've had a live event in every quarter the past couple of years, and so we're having another one, a huge one in Cape Cod this year, Massachusetts. That's right, the ITL Hoopathon is going to be working with the Sims Academy former G League MVP Courtney Sims will have his program go up against the infamous Triple-Double Basketball Academy, who hit that awesome half-court shot last year to win that $500 extra on top of that scholarships that we gave to those seniors who are officially going to be graduating and playing ball in college. So really glad to be helping them find their stride and reach their dreams there of playing college basketball. So go check it out. August 6th in Cape Cod. We will be live if you want to donate online. If you're in the Cape Cod, Boston area, you can show up live and come donate in person. But check out the cool head-to-head matches and the Around the World Hoopathon competition that is so infamous it's going to happen twice. So we're excited. All right, guys, let's get to some NBA playoff action. That's right. It's round one, but that's a typo on my part, not Londo's part, I promise. NBA playoff action. We're going to start off in the West in a series that might be considered the best series to watch. That's right. Suns and Mavs are the series we're going to start off with here. And for those who are not watching, that's correct. The Suns and Mavericks have a game that's going to be everything you want to watch later on tonight. But Kenny, I'm going to start off with you. How do you feel about the Mavs underperforming in game one?
I mean, outside of Luka, like, they all played terrible. Like, Brunson had probably his worst game of the playoffs so far. Spencer Dinwiddie didn't hit shots. Neither did Bertans. I mean, Luka needs help. And they talked about it the other night. I forget what show it was on. But when it comes to this series, look, Luka can go out and score 45, 50, 55. But if he doesn't have any help, he's going to be in trouble. And this is a tough matchup for them. They don't really defend Ayton well, especially in the pick and roll, because they don't like to play a true center. They like to spread it out, and that's not a great matchup for them. But they need to figure out a way to keep Booker in check, keep Bridges in check. Hopefully Chris Paul kicks somebody again and they can get him suspended for a game or two, because, you know, when he does it, he's just a competitor. But when other guys do it, then they're a problem, even though he's been a problem his entire career. I could go on and on about how much I dislike that Chris Paul stuff. But nonetheless, this is a great series to watch because the Suns are the team that everyone's been talking about all year of, wow, they were the best regular season team, so they're the favorite to win the title. And I think this is a fun matchup because we want to see what Luka can do. We saw him push the Clippers over the past couple seasons. They were able to beat Utah because they're an absolute dumpster fire. And let's see what happens in this semifinal. Oh,
Mute.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow, I haven't had to do this in a while.
That's
Our
early.
first mute of the night. Wow.
On.
Wow. On me. I'm very surprised here. I'm very surprised. Lots of things happening. If we say Luka's name 3 times, hopefully he can show up. So Luka, we'll see where he shows up. Hopefully he comes tonight. Andrew, you watched this series a little bit. You said you kind of stoked to watch some NBA playoff action. What do you think? Suns. Oh, wait a second. I said the name 3 times. Could it be Luka?
Close enough.
No, we got Just Luke. What's going on, Just Luke?
He looks like he just jumped up
By the
there.
goddamn cars.
I let's not talk about that. I am not Davis Cordova. All right. Happy May the 4th. Come on now. I just left Team Trivia, which we finished 5th in, and we got our asses kicked. But I don't want to talk about that right now.
Should have been 4th. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were aiming for, Ernest. 4th place, just like
Makes
the Great
sense.
Will Ferrell did. 4th place because we wanted the Flip Michigan Mega Bowl. We did
Michigan
not get the
Mega Bowl.
Flip Michigan Mega Bowl, so I'll take 5th place, I guess.
Yeah, that's all about it. I said Luka 3 times. We get Just Luke. That's a fine 2nd place there. I'll take that all day. But Andrew, we're talking about Suns Mavericks. We're talking about how much you're enthralled by this series. Who do you have in this series as you've watched, the first game, and you're going to see some more action tonight?
Kenny brought up a really, really good name and a really, really good point to this conversation. Spencer Dinwiddie was the big acquisition that they got at the trade deadline. It was a piece that I thought really was going to help them out a ton. He'd been playing some really good ball going into that trade. And I thought, hey, this is a guy that they can center that piece around. It helps Luke out, that 20-plus point guy that can shoot consistently, has a good 3 ball, can space the floor really well for Luka as well. And honestly, I just don't know if he's a fit in Dallas. Everything that I've seen so far, it seems that, Luka likes to be that aggressive on-ball guy, right? And that's kind of Dinwiddie's game too. So, I mean, it kind of takes away from what he's trying to do. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, they want Dinwiddie to be a little bit more aggressive, take the shot when he's got it, not pass the ball off so frequently. I think they want him to drive a little bit more consistently too. But yeah, he's got to space the floor for Luka, and he's got to be a big part of this offense. They literally need him to be a 20-plus guy in order to beat the Suns. And I would say that Kenny's probably still upset that Chris Paul didn't end up a Laker. That's probably why he hates him. So we'll go from there.
He says it's probably half true. Luke, Coach, any
Yes.
opinion on the Suns Mavs series?
The only opinion I'll say is, as a wise man once said, Suns in 4. So I'm going to go back to that saying. I think it was Suns in 4, wasn't it? I think it was
Suns in 4.
Suns in 4. Yes, you know, I mean, he knew what he was talking about. So no, I didn't follow these teams close this year, but I did watch maybe 2 Suns games, and they just looked so good when I watched them. And I just feel that they're going to. I think it'll be Suns in 5, honestly.
That's a bold statement. I'm not as sold on the Suns winning this series as you are.
Yeah,
I am very much riding the Mavericks hype train right now. So, I think Kenny might be too. Maybe I'm making that up. But Kenny, I think you said something about.
So I picked Dallas in 7 on my own show. I still think that they're a matchup problem for the Suns as well. I don't see Dinwiddie playing as poorly, especially in this next game. I mean, Andrew does bring up a good point, though, because first 3 games of the Utah series, Dinwiddie averages 20 points. Luka comes back into the lineup. He's averaging 10 since then. So he needs to figure out a way to get more involved, because his real strength isn't just standing a corner waiting for Luka to create for him. And I think part of that is, if you're Dallas, you don't need to play Luka 45 minutes. If you play him 40 and you let Dinwiddie actually run the second unit like he was, what I think was brought here to do, because they want to play Brunson with Luka, then I think they can cause some problems here. And I do think that Dallas is a problem for this Phoenix team. I picked Dallas to win tonight. I do think that they're going to even it up, and then we're going to be heading back to Dallas wondering, man, like, are the Suns as advertised? And we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, I am in the same boat. I didn't want to say Mavs money line for your show, but I did want to say I got the Mavs covering tonight. Let's move on. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but guys, the best team in the playoffs so far to me has been the Golden State Warriors. So is this going to be a gentleman's sweep, or am I being way too early with that kind of analysis? Andrew, I'll start with you.
Now, how can you not like what you see out of Ja Morant this playoffs? This has just been his coming in. I mean, he's been a great player for a couple of years now, but this has really been like the coming out party for Ja Morant, being like, hey, I'm here. I'm for real. I'm trash talking everyone, but I'm backing it up all at the same time. But I agree with you, Ernest. This Warriors team is so deep, man, and they're just so skilled. And honestly, like, it's so funny because all the emphasis is on this series, or any series really, is always about Draymond Green and the shenanigans that guy gets into. But it takes away about how good the fucking team actually plays. Like, they are a unit, man. They work so well together. Honestly, the Warriors should probably make it to the finals again this year. I'm going to roll with them winning this series. I'm going to see them probably make the finals.
Yep, almost favored for me. Luke, why are the Warriors the best team in the West right now?
Because they can come at you with 7 deep, maybe 8 deep. I mean, now it's going to be more Wiggins on Ja Morant, which I think probably still works in Wiggins' favor. You're never going to stop Ja. I mean, he had 47 or 42 last night. I think it's going to go 6 games, but I still think the Warriors are probably just too much for a very young and probably upcoming Grizzly team. But they can just attack you for so many ways. Even with this new injury, he was guarding Ja a lot, but I think putting Andrew Wiggins on him, I mean, between Wiggins' wingspan and probably just straight agility with Ja, like I said, you're not going to stop Ja. I don't think there's a guy out there that's probably going to stop Ja Morant, but I think Wiggins gives him more of a challenge up front. We'll see. Like I said, I think it's 6 games no matter what. But I mean, Ja Morant is just playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, real jaw-dropping performance, if you ask me. But okay, so no, too much.
Wow.
Too much. Sarah says Draymond ruins Golden State for me. Honestly, listening to him complain about foul calls is like music to my ears.
Awesome.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking ironic that he wants to complain about foul
The
calls.
best part about the best part about Draymond Green, obviously, is constant complaining is number one. But secondly, if you ever had a Draymond on your team, you never complain because he's that goddamn good on the court. Every team would love to have a Draymond Green, and they don't. And that's why I think 90% of the world hates Draymond Green, is because he's so good at what he does, and he can piss you off so quickly. It's just like hockey. Everybody knows that Brad Marchand, that's an example, and Luke will like that one. Brad Marchand can put up 100 points, but everyone calls him the Rat because they hate how he plays. And that's exactly Draymond
because I want to punch him right in the face.
and then he puts up a hat trick against your favorite team, and you're like, God damn it, I wish I had this guy. It's the same with Draymond Green.
I definitely agree with Andrew on it. It's just he cost the Golden State Warriors another championship. If he plays in that Cavaliers series, it's completely a different story. Completely a different story. And I really don't agree with the call. A flagrant one, I can see.
Was horrible.
He walked off.
But a flagrant two seemed a little bit aggressive to me.
Yeah, I think he deserved it.
But if you're looking at Draymond, it's completely unnecessary to grab the man by his jersey and throw him down. It was completely avoidable. And I think that's why they ended up just giving him the two, is because it was completely avoidable.
You guys might not have heard it there, but we had a Kenny groan. Kenny, you want to chime in here with this analysis?
Did I have a groan there?
I think you heard me.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I thought I've been very silent throughout the entire thing. No, I mean, every team that's left in the playoffs has a Draymond Green type player on their team that people just like really love to hate. You look at the other game being played right now, like people love to hate Jimmy Butler. People love to hate James Harden. We talk about the last series, like people love to hate Patrick Beverley, but if Patrick Beverley's on your team, then you're like, oh yeah, I love Pat Bev. Like I
even want Patrick Beverley.
Such a gritty guy and all this stuff. I think the issue with this series, and it was my issue with Memphis coming into the playoffs, I figured they could get past Minnesota because they're equally inexperienced. But once you get past that, like who's the second guy going to be for Memphis consistently? Because we saw Jaren Jackson Jr. play like he was an absolute superstar in game one, and then like you couldn't find him for most of game two. And part of that's due to the fact that, Draymond got ejected and suddenly Jaren Jackson Jr. started playing better in game one. Weird how that happens. Right. Draymond plays a full game. What happens? He doesn't play great. So that's the impact of his defense on him. Desmond Bane has been non-existent. He might as well not even be out there. He's got the biggest arms I've ever seen on a shooting guard, and he doesn't do anything with them. So, I mean, it's not a great situation if you're Memphis. You now have to go to Golden State. No Dylan Brooks, because let's face it, he's going to get suspended. He doesn't get the superstar treatment. He might even miss both games. There's an opportunity for him to miss 3 and 4. He's a critical guy that gives you 15 to 20 points, and Ja needs that because he doesn't have a second star. There is not a second all-star on this Memphis Grizzlies team. You go to the Golden State side, who had the real most improved player this year in Jordan Poole, because my definition of most improved isn't who is the best first-time all-star. It's who went from like point A to point B and made the biggest jump. To me, it was Jordan Poole. He's proved it all postseason long. He did it again at last game. You got Steph. Clay didn't even shoot well. Like this is what's crazy, is that it felt like Golden State played like shit in Memphis and they're still 1-1. And now they're going back to their place for game 3 and 4. So there's no indication to me that Memphis is going to go on the road and win either of those games. So you get to 3-1, you head back to Memphis. They probably pack the building. They make it 3-2. Golden State goes back and they close it out in 6. So I agree with them closing it out in 6. The issue that Ja has, and he's going to have it for his entire career there, no one's going there in free agency. No one's lining up to go to Memphis. So they either need to have Jaren Jackson Jr. or Bane take the next step, or they need to draft really well in these later rounds or make a significant trade. So, I mean, Ja can keep being great. He's been like averaging 40 and 9 and 10 or whatever it's been in this series. And people will point to, well, Golden State is also fortunate that they got one of those games. And it's like, okay, fair enough. But that's just a veteran team doing what veteran teams do. When you don't have your best stuff, you still figure out a way to win games. And now they're going to go back and probably trounce them. I would predict a 20-plus point win in Game 3. Memphis maybe makes it close in Game 4, but I think we see Golden State. By the time we roll around to ITL next week, we might not even have a series anymore.
Yeah, I completely agree with that take. Coach Peanut, wrap us up. Last 30 seconds on this topic.
I want to say I disagree, but it's like Golden State is so good. It's hard to pick against it. As much as I can't stand Golden State and I want to see Memphis beat them in this series, it's just so hard to pick them. I mean, watching them last night, Ja Morant was just – he was going through three people at sometimes it felt like when he would drive in the lane, and he was just making every shot. I mean, if he just had Desmond – like I know Kenny already mentioned it, but Desmond Bane, he's on my fantasy team. He was a great player this year, and it's just like, where's he been in the playoffs? And Jaren Jackson too. I mean, he's just like disappeared. So it's like I have trouble picking him as much as I want to see him win. I just don't see this series lasting much longer, like Kenny said.
Sarah says she agrees, and I'm going to say I agree too. But last call out to Rockets legend Patrick Beverley. That's right. If you ever want to come on the show, we would love to have you on the team. Rockets legend. Patrick
Remind
Beverley.
me when he's coming on, so I'm not here.
I absolutely will make sure you know. Let's move on to the series that Kenny really wants to talk about. That's right, Celtics versus Bucks. But why does it feel like it's the Bucks to lose at this point? Why? Because the NBA wants it that way. Kenny, I figure you're the one that's the most to talk about. Why don't we start off with you? How do you feel about this series?
I mean, I got $50 as Bucks winning the titles. So, like, of course I have my bias, so I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I also can't stand the Celtics. Would prefer that the Bucks win the next 3 games. So that way we can stop listening to the fans talk about Boston. But that being said, I don't see that being the case, because this is going to be I think it's just a series of trading blows. And unfortunately, Boston has the home court. So I think we're going to see a split in Milwaukee, and then the Bucks at that point are going to be in a bit of trouble because they have to figure out a way to win another game in Boston, which is never easy. Giannis, I can't even say that he's played great, because he's played like okay, but like that's weird to say because he had a triple-double in a game. But then last game he has like 28, and you still feel like, because Giannis is the best player on the planet. I don't care what anyone else says. Like, he's the best player on the planet now, and we got to stop with this Kevin Durant and LeBron stuff. But I look at the team and it's like Drew Holiday needs to be more consistent shooting. With no Chris Middleton there, you're going to need that. I also don't see the Bucks shooting like 3 of 20 from 3 again. Like, that's a big reason why they lost that game as badly as they did. You shoot even an average percentage, and we have ourselves a game going down the stretch. So I don't know. I'm still going to roll with the Bucks because I don't like Boston. I'm not going to pretend that I like Boston, but I mean, that's a tough matchup. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They didn't have Marcus Smart. Let's see how much longer he's out. And I mean, this is just a fun series. It should be great back and forth.
Like I say, you give me a championship team, I don't go against them. So I'm taking the Bucks to win this series myself. I always have been. I think they're going to repeat and go to the final. I think they're just going to lose this time. But we'll talk about that later. I will do that to you all day. Going game 7 or question mark? I'm not sure what question. I'm just kidding. Going game 7 or not? I am Scoobs wants to know. Odds are probably they are. This is probably a go the distance series. If not, it's game 6 for sure. But Sarah's giving kudos to Kenny. I mean, I think Kenny's got enough kudos today, so we'll just move on from that one. Andrew, how do you feel about the Celtics? They're young, they're fighting, and a lot of people are talking about them because we're in Steve's circle. So, how do you feel about them Celtics?
When you got a Boston member as part of this content, of course, you're going to get some feedback when it comes to the Celtics. But hey, I give it all props. Game 2, they played lights out. They did everything they had to do to make that win happen. They just look like a complete team. And as I agree with Kenny, I mean, realistically, Giannis has been okay, which by every other standard on a team, he's a superstar, even with his stats the way they are. Middleton is a huge miss for them. He is such a vital part of that offense. He's got the 3 ball, he's got the range too to get that mid-range jump shot that they've been desperately missing. I mean, realistically, I agree with this going to 7 games. The Celtics are good. My biggest thing is if Marcus Smart is out for more than 2 games, I think they're in a world of trouble. Marcus Smart is so good defensively. We know that. Offensively, he brings a little punch too. He's got that, wiry personality. I do think that he helps out the Celtics, space out the floor a ton. I realistically think if Smart's out for more than 2 or 3 games, then it might be 6 games for the Bucks. But I do see this going to 7. I do see the Bucks winning it.
I will say this as we go to Coach Peanut's analysis on the Celtics versus Bucks. Don't forget, we are powered by Blue Collar Media Group, BCMG. Go check out bluecollarmg.com today. You catch many great shows like the Competitive Hedge podcast. All right, so Coach Peanut, let's talk about your take on this Bucks series. I'm having a feeling here you're leaning Milwaukee, but prove me wrong.
Well, I am leaning toward Milwaukee only because I just feel that Giannis is unstoppable. I know he only had 28 points in the game that they got blown out. I know that. But I just think that they are a much better team than, Boston does have Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but I just don't feel they're deeper than Milwaukee. Without Middleton, though. Middleton is the one that's going to hurt them, losing him. But, God, I don't know. I just think I hate to agree with everybody else, but doing Bucks in 7 is what I picked before this, and I'm going to stick with it.
All right, let's wrap this one up. I'm going to do a one-off question here, Luke. I'm going to do a one-off. Bigger blow to the series, Middleton to Milwaukee or Smart to the Celtics?
Oh man, that's hard. I'm going to go with Smart. I mean, the defensive player of the year. I mean, that's hard to pass up not having in this series, especially against Giannis.
I like that. Defense wins championships. Luke goes with the Smart pick. I think we all agree with that one. All right, final series. We're going to cover Heat versus Sixers. I gave you guys the question: will the Sixers actually win a game in this series? My smart money's leaning on no. So I'll start this one off with Andrew because it seemed like he agreed. What are you feeling about them Sixers?
The Sixers struggled so bad against the Raptors team who had nobody playing at that point. Thaddeus Young made a couple guys look like idiots. So there's that. My faith was, granted, good teams finish off bad teams, and that's exactly what the Sixers did to the Raptors. Raptors had no FEV, which is probably their biggest player on the team, right? And, I mean, Siakam was gassed. Scotty Barnes was playing banged up. And they took advantage of that, and that's what good teams do. They take advantage of that. So credit to the Sixers for winning that series. They move on, and now they're getting absolutely wiped. They're not going to win. They're getting swept. I'm calling it now. They're getting swept. The Sixers, they are good offensively, but this is a different competition. Bam's nuts. Butler, you love to hate him, but he's so good at basketball. Tyler Hero's good, and he's been playing pretty well. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the Heat to sweep this series.
That's the first call out for a Heat sweep. Coach?
I can't disagree with that because, I know it's a close game right now. Tonight they're playing. It's only 91-82. But, I mean, there's not much input I can give on that one because I can't stand the Sixers. I hate super teams. And I just hope they do get swept just for that reason.
Yeah, I think the loss of Joel Embiid is just, it's
massive.
We can call this done. Luke?
Okay, so I just want to say something before we get into this one. The Nets didn't win a game. Just saying. They're the only team in the NBA playoffs that did not win a game. That's off my chest. So we're good. Now, the Sixers traded everything in the kitchen sink to get Joel Embiid. Or, God damn it, James Harden. Now, a guy that's shooting the ball 13 times a game that's going to want a supermax at the end of the season, and he doesn't have his all-star center. I would like to say gentleman's sweep, but they're just going to bring the brooms straight out. Like it's ball game. 100%.
That's a 100% BCMG guarantee from just Luke, who is making a surprise appearance here on ITL. I'm going to get this question over to Kenny. Do you think Butler is a superstar?
No, because there's 6 to 8 superstars in the NBA. And while Jimmy Butler shows flashes of being a superstar, I think in a 7-game series, he gives you 2 games that are superstar games, and then he's a star the rest of the way. Because Like there's games where Jimmy Butler finishes with 18 points. Superstars in the playoffs do not finish many games with 18 points, and he does it fairly consistently. Now, when it comes to this series, I would like to give Philadelphia a game, but the fact that Doc Rivers thought, hey, things went so well in game 1, I'm going to start DeAndre Jordan again. And he then played 13 minutes, got completely played off the floor. He's not playing now for the right reason, but you want to know why? Because the guy they would have to go to replace him is Paul Reed, and that's not Patrick Reed, pro golfer's brother. That is Paul Reed from who knows state that is on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
They are completely outmatched in the sense that, look, Tobias can give you 30. Maxey can give you 25. Heck, James Harden could give you 25. And I bet you the rest of the Sixers couldn't give you the 20, 25 points that you need in order to win that game. Because I don't have faith in Georges Niang. I don't have faith in Korkmaz. Like, these are the guys that they're having to roll to. You want to know what would have really helped them in this series? If they had Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Oh, wait. They traded them with Ben Simmons to Brooklyn, who also didn't win a game in the postseason, as Coach Peanut pointed out. So good for them for not even winning a game in that trade, despite the fact that the Nets clearly won that trade. That's what everybody said, and they got swept by Boston. So, no, I can't give them a game because they're just so bad outside of those three, and you can't replace 30 and 15. 35 and 15 he can give you some nights. You can't replace that with Furkan Korkmaz. Like, that's not how the NBA works. So that's my issue with it.
I truly think it's poetic in the NBA if both the Sixers and Nets were to get swept. And
as they should.
And I want to apologize to probably all of my half listener that's from DePaul. Paul Reed is from DePaul. So, yes, we know what university he played at. We're not going to say that, Kenny.
I didn't know that.
You'd be nice.
Nor do I particularly care because he
nice.
probably won't be in the NBA in 2 years.
Wow. Bold take. Kenny Cotterell has said Paul Reed will not be played in the NBA.
If you can't start on the Sixers ahead of DeAndre Jordan's corpse, then I don't know how you're still in the league in 2 years. The guy can't move his feet anymore, and we have him covering Bam Adebayo, and we're supposed to act like that's fine. And Doc Rivers is like, let's start him. Like,
where did DeAndre Jordan play the best years of his basketball?
Clippers.
And who was the coach?
Clips.
Doc.
We will move on from this segment right now. I
will say this though. I think Tyrese Maxey, they got something fucking beautiful with him because he has played absolutely lights the fuck out. He took not winning Rookie of the Year personally in the playoffs so far, and he has shoved it down the throats of all the critics. I think he's got 28 tonight already. Incredible.
But I want to say the fact that, yes, it's fine to give Maxey credit. I'm tired of listening to people give Matisse Thybulle so much credit of being like this all-worldly defender. And it's like, well, then why is he not out there? Because let's be honest, if you're going to spread it out, okay, start him. I'm fine with that even. And you just run like Tobias at the 5. And you just say, you know what? We're going to spread it out. We're going to keep driving and kicking. There's no Lowry. And we're just going to try and figure it out that way. But they refuse to do it because Doc's just so set in his ways. He's like, well, but I remember DeAndre in 2015 and he was pretty good. And it's like, yeah, that was 7 years ago, Doc. Like,
he's been released 4 times since then, Doc.
DeAndre Jordan played the best years of basketball with Doc Rivers, Kenny. Is that true?
Are we calling it good basketball?
Just wait for DeAndre Jordan Game 7. Watch. You just watch.
Game 7 of what?
Not this year.
NBA 2K.
Is he playing 2K after this? Because if so, I bet you I'd beat him.
I completely troll. This is absolutely going to be a sweep, guys. All right, we're going to roll it. The BCMG stream team absolutely has a hype video. We're going to roll that clip for you guys right now as we switch gears to the NFL draft as we pick our winners and losers of that. It's not going to be what you think. We're not going to dissect each little pick. We are just going to talk about some trades that happen. All right, Londo, let's roll it.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday.
I'm your host, Andrew Kahn. This is the Boomtown Pod.
at Into the Lab Pod is where you're watching today's stream.
Stuck him!
It is Blue Collar Game Day. I am your host.
I got a kill! Get out of my way!
Welcome to episode 277 of the official Butthole Podcast.
Get him!
Got him.
Beautiful!
Better together.
Better together.
We're better together.
Better together.
Better together.
We are better together here at BCMG. Find some of our greatest shows, streamers, and content for the Blue Collar Media Group. Great to see that Better Together segment. We'll show the BCMG Stream Team clip later on in tonight's episode. But let's talk about those NFL draft winners and losers. That's right. We're going to start off with the infamous trade of day one, at least one of them. Let's talk AJ Brown. That's right. So we're going to talk about this trade that obviously made the NFC East just a tad bit more competitive for some. For me, doesn't do anything. But let's talk it out. I'll start with away from the Dallas Cowboy fans. So we're not going to start with Andrew, Kenny, or I. Let's start with Luke, who I didn't even bring up the Steelers just to help you with this segment. Okay, let's talk. What do you think about the Brown trade?
I think the Titans just said, yeah, fuck you, we're not paying you. That's pretty much what it boiled down to. I mean, that deal, I don't even think he learned of the trade before he got signed to a deal. Like, it felt like he was traded, and then 5 minutes later, I get an ESPN update saying he signed this huge deal with Philadelphia. For the Titans, it's not a good look. Now Tannehill is throwing to... I don't even know. Personally, I really don't even know who he's throwing to.
Robert Woods.
Robert. Okay.
That's it.
Who's coming off a knee injury, correct?
Yep.
Right? He blew his knee out. If you're Philadelphia, first of all of your chips are on Jalen Hurts for this year. So you go out and you get him another weapon besides Devontae Smith. Now A.J. Brown can work the middle of the field and deeper than Devontae Smith. You still have Dallas Goedert, but the problem is with the Philadelphia Eagles is I don't know how healthy they can be in a calendar year. That's always been the issue. They have talent at all positions, but Miles Sanders is always hurt. Dallas Goedert's always good for 4 or 5 game stretch where he's disappeared off the face of the earth. Now Devontae Smith, granted, had a pretty great rookie year for a wide receiver there, but that's the 3 main weapons that are constantly hurt, and now you have money tied up in players that Jalen, you don't know if you're even going to pay him after this year, so there's a lot. I think this didn't answer any questions. I think it didn't answer a lot of answers. How do I want to say that? I really don't know how I want to say it.
I think you got it right. I think I had it right. Yeah.
They answered a lot of questions pretty much with this trade. I don't think they answered a lot of questions with it.
Now, just look. I just want to say, may the 4th be with you. Just realized what your shirt was. All right, Coach. I'm gonna go over to you. 4 years, $100 million extension for AJ Brown in Philly. Lots of money. How are you feeling about that trade?
I mean, well, money aside, I love the trade. I love the fit in Philadelphia. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to do great there. The money seems outrageous, but in this day, though, I guess I can't say it's outrageous compared to, let's just say, a certain quarterback on the Browns just got way overpaid because that's the only reason he came to Cleveland. The money's getting outrageous for some of these contracts. I mean, $25 million a year for, AJ Brown is just insane, but I can't say.
I didn't think you guys paid Baker.
Well, we are unfortunately still paying Baker. So, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I do love Baker Mayfield. I mean, I can't knock that. I love Baker Mayfield, but we are screwed with that contract. I mean, nobody wants him. Nobody wants to pay that. We're going to have to pay like $17.9 million out of the 18 just to get rid of him. I mean, Luke, you can have him on the Steelers if you want. I've heard rumors of that, but
Now the Lions will come for you guys.
Well, the Lions are a great fit. I mean, they are. I mean, I want to talk about them when we get into surprises.
I don't hate it.
No.
The best thing to be a Brown thing to do would be to cut him, have him come over to the Steelers and then win a division title over the Browns. That would be the most Brown thing to do while you are paying him to play for us. That would be the best.
I could see Myles Garrett hitting him in the head with a helmet, though.
All right, I'm going to go over to the Cowboys now. Kenny Andrew, does A.J. Brown and the Eagles scare you after the draft?
Nope.
Andrew, I'll let you field that one.
Yeah. I mean, I get the trade for Philly. They want to space out the offense. They need some weapons. I totally get it. Last year was a dumpster fire. Jalen Reagor's terrible. I think that was pretty much the reason why they went out and made this trade, is that they were expecting Reagor to have this explosive speed that he had in college, these good hands that he had in college, and it just has not panned out the way that they hoped for. And that's why they make the trade. And I mean, for Tennessee, they literally went out and drafted, what's his name? Treylon Burks, who's literally A.J. Brown 2.0. In the draft, their comparison was literally A.J. Brown. So it's not like they're losing a whole ton of talent. A.J. was beat up last year. He didn't play all to intents and purposes. He wasn't all that great, to be honest with you. He has trouble in the red zone. It's apparent. So I feel like a lot of defenders are going to eat the inside of him alive, especially in the East, where there is some ball sharks. There is some good guys in a couple of good areas on D. I honestly, I don't see it being the best trade for them. A.J. Brown, that's a lot of money. Didn't they guarantee him like $75 million of that 100?
75% of it, yep.
That's fucking astronomical. That's a lot of money. But I agree with Peanut. These guys are getting paid MLB money now all of a sudden out of nowhere. And it's getting crazy, man. But, I mean, is A.J. Brown worth $20 million? Nah, maybe like 16 or 17 that he was offered from Tennessee. That was pretty respectable. Yeah. And he said, hell no. And the other problem that I have with this deal is the other problem that I have with this deal more than anything is the way that fucking A.J. Brown acted after he found out he was traded with Jalen Hurts on social media on his phone. And he's like laughing about it. And he's like, oh, Tennessee didn't want to do this. And then be a grown up, man. You got traded. You're getting $20 million a year. Be a grown up. Like, stop acting like a kid. I just thought it was completely unprofessional. So in that aspect, I hope A.J. Brown gets roasted all year.
I want to honor the comments, and I think Baker to Seattle makes too much sense. I like
Baker,
that way too much.
Seattle come out today and said they don't want him.
Yeah, they can say that all they want.
Yeah.
They're all Cleveland has to do is ask for David fucking Putney. All right, look, Kenny,
what's going on?
You haven't said anything. And I know you're being quiet on purpose. You're trying to pick and choose how much you don't want to be blasphemous on the mic. I get it. Okay.
Well,
Did the Eagles win
on this show?
Do the Eagles win one more game because of A.J. Brown next year?
I mean, the Eagles are still a playoff team, but it's because the NFC's terrible. Like if they're out in the AFC, what are we considering them? The 9th or 10th best team? And to be fair, Dallas, you're putting them in like the 6 to 8 range, probably in the AFC, with all the movement that happened there in the offseason. I mean, I hate to keep going back to this player, but like Christian Kirk just like completely screwed up the market. And it's so funny because like any team that plays the Jags this year should walk right over to the Jags GM and spit in his face for ruining franchises. Because the fact that he paid Christian Kirk $18 million because we know he's not worth that. That should have been what A.J. Brown went for. That Tyreek should have gone for 2022. Yep. But now all these teams have to pay like 50% more for these guys. And the thing is, A.J. Brown, he's going to miss a couple of games. We know this because he's got knee issues already. That's a concern when you're guaranteeing a guy 75% of his contract. But when he is playing, he's still going to get 1,000 yards. Even with Jalen Hurts. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts throwing QB. I think what he does both in the running game and passing game makes him a problem for some teams. I think Dallas secondary will get lit up yards wise by Brown because they give up a lot of big plays. The rest of the secondaries in the NFC East are nothing incredible, but I think Philly's still a playoff team just because the NFC is so bad. And if he plays like 13 games, I think you're happy because that's kind of been the standard the last couple of years. And I mean, come on, if you're a fantasy owner, how can you not want to go and own all these Titans wide receivers like Treylon Burks and Nick Westbrook-Akine. I mean, I'm just salivating at the thought of drafting them in fantasy.
I mean, you laugh, but I'm probably taking Trey Burks this year, man.
With Ryan Tannehill and possibly Malik Willis at quarterback, because who knows with that situation.
I mean, Tannehill's driving a salt truck, Tennessee. What a baby that.
Austin Hooper, fantasy tight end, because he might get quite a few targets without
he's definitely a slot receiver this year.
Definitely a guy that you hear every week on every single NFL pickup player of Austin Hooper might go and get 4 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. And he gets 1 catch for 8 yards, and you're like, oh, what the hell happened?
To answer the question from the comments, Diggs is that good.
Yes, he is.
Nobody needs to question
12 interceptions.
He's a ball hawk. He's going to give up big plays because he goes for the big play.
That's right.
But when he gets the big play, it's a big deal.
He is that good. Okay, I'm going to say love it. No, I'm going to say I like it or don't like it. That's the reaction I want. Everybody can talk at one time. If anybody says they like it, we'll go ahead and talk about it. Hollywood Brown to Arizona.
Like it now.
Like it now. I love it. Get him out of my division. Gone.
There's something fucking fishy with that, but
there was a fishy trade.
There's something fishy with that whole situation. Glad you said it, Luke.
DeAndre Hopkins, for those who don't understand what's happening here, DeAndre Hopkins has been suspended for 6 games for his PED use, his unknowing steroid use.
My thing is, Ernest, how the hell can you get piss tested in November and don't get suspended in May?
Yeah. 6 months? Like
6 months. That's all I needed, though.
Come on.
I mean, come on, Luke. It's 5 to 6 business months.
Hey, Kenny, he didn't know.
He didn't know, though. So, like, in no way did Arizona know. They just saw Hollywood Brown and all the great production he put up with Lamar Jackson and said, you know what? I'm taking a shot on this guy to play alongside DeAndre Hopkins.
Christian Kirk replacement.
I will never.
Well, how do you replace a guy worth $18 million, Ernest? You don't.
20 million.
Well,
20.
I'll tell you right now, I'll never cheer for a division rival, but good on the fucking Ravens. I mean, to get a first-round draft pick out of it, I mean, congratulations. I mean, why not?
Yeah. For the most inconsistent wide receiver in the NFL.
And the best part is, as far as like, what happened?
Let's wrap up this NFL draft segment with the final question. Who had the better draft, Lions or Jets?
Ooh, and
there were some good hauls in this draft. The Hutchinson story just hits home, but I'm not biased here. Let's start this one off with Coach. Coach, who had the better draft?
If I have to pick, I'm going to go Detroit. Detroit mostly for their fan base. I mean, getting Hutchinson's huge for Detroit. I'm sure they're so happy he fell there. But trading up to get what's his name, Jameson Williams, that's huge for him too. I mean, they need weapons on that offense, and I think there will be a much better team next year. I'm not saying playoffs or anything, but they'll be better next year.
Yep. I am going to have to save my analysis for the end. Kenny, who had the better draft?
I think the Jets had the better draft. I mean, just even based off their first round, they got a great corner in Sauce Gardner. They go and get a wide receiver out of Ohio State. And then at 23, you get one of the best edge rushers in the draft that falls to them there. They then in the second round go get a running back, get a tight end. They make the O-line better. I just think they added a lot in this draft. Zach Wilson might look like more than a Disney child star, which is pretty huge for him. So I'm very hopeful that he's going to perform better than his aforementioned after-school special.
All right, we got one on each side. Andrew.
I'm going to roll with the Jets, and I think it's the Cowboys fuck-up that makes the Jets win this. I mean, honestly, you lost Randy Gregory in the draft. I understand O-line's been a bit of a thing of inconsistency for you. Tyler Smith was an absolute reach at the 24 spot. He's basically what Connor Williams was. He's a holding machine, so I'm not sure what they did there. But Jermaine Johnson falling to them at 26 is an absolute steal. The fact that he fell down the rankings so high blows my mind. But he's going to be dominant for that Jets defense for a long friggin' time. So just for that aspect, plus they added a great wide receiver and an unreal corner, I think the Jets won it.
I am going to play the tie here, and I'm going to say just because of the Hutchinson story, I am all Lions in this draft. I think you got to bring heart back onto the team. It starts at the top with your top talent. You saw what players do, like DeMarcus Ware, like J.J. Watt, what that does for a team, the energy, the power. Lions got that now. So I think that's huge for that type of franchise. So I'm going to go with them. Luke, you're the tiebreaker here.
Oh, Jets, Jets. It's not even. I mean, they finally, especially in that division, they got finally a lockdown corner in Sauce Gardner, which in that division is pretty good. But I think the underrated pick was Breece Hall out of Iowa State at running back. I mean, that guy, eats 100-yard games at Iowa State, and especially in the Big 12 where they don't run the football. I mean, that's pretty good for that. So I think it's the Jets. The only problem I have with the Detroit Lions, besides the fact they're the Detroit Lions, is Jared Goffel has 1 year left on his contract, and you have David fucking Blow as your backup. Like, how do you not take a shot at Malik Willis, who went in the 3rd round?
It's very true.
How did every team that needed a quarterback pass on Malik Willis until the 3rd round? If you're in the Minnesota Vikings,
and he goes to a team that won't mentor him.
The disrespect on Super Bowl finalist Jared Goff is just palpable in this group.
Yeah, that Super Bowl. Yeah, forgot. But if you're the
Detroit so funny Lions, to say.
You draft a quarterback every year if you're the Detroit Lions. Even if it's just some guy out of North Dakota. Just draft somebody is better than David Blow as your backup.
Luke,
well, okay, come on. Dan Orlovsky's going to come running out of the tunnel with his theme music hitting, and we're going to see some real quarterback play.
Yeah, he's going to run out of the back of the end zone for 2 points.
That is our NFL draft coverage. We are going to roll now the BCMG Stream Team, and we're going to take a little sneak peek into Coach Peanut's new show starting next Thursday. So let's roll it, Londo.
And then you can access your Stream Deck with your mind. Dim our key lights, bro.
Connect to your Stream Deck via catheter.
Oh! Yo! Clip that! Clip that headshot!
On the ladder.
You got both of those.
One more now.
I got it.
Finish
Yo! No fucking way! Let's go! Yo, that guy in the heli, he was all the way across the map!
I think they've shut the door on these people.
Oh my god! That flick!
Tough battle.
Get him! Got him! Beautiful!
Another handful down.
That's it. Okay.
See?
Oh my! Did you just die? No, someone fucking walked into the room that I was in as I was about to walk out and scared the fuck. You yelled.
I'll tell you what, there's a group that I absolutely love, like the BCMG Stream Team, and they just keep growing. El Baconator just joined the BCMG Stream Team, had his announcement stream this morning, went fantastic. Manon has joined as well, brand new streamer, and she'll be going live and making her announcement in the coming month. I'm just excited for the Stream Team is going. Captains and current captain, Coach Peanut, will be showing off his new show and what it's all about. So Coach Peanut's going to go in here. Now, here's the fun part for everybody watching tonight. If you can find a fantastic name for his new food show, all right, which we're going to talk about what exactly it's about. If you find a name, that's $25 in your pocket. That's right, $25 in your pocket. We will pass that over to you. Get a name over to us. Let us know what name you think is perfect. If he chooses it, we'll let you know. And it goes, and you'll hear about it, and you'll go right into your pocket. All right, here we go. All right, Coach, talk to us. What is this new, amazing, absolutely fantastic show you got going on about?
Okay, so it's very early in my thought process, but basically every weekend I go out to eat with our daughter and granddaughter, and we just decided let's go somewhere different every weekend and then just stream the whole experience. How, everybody can chat while we're there, try new foods, maybe go to some of these places that have food challenges and try some of those. Right now, it's just going to be mainly in Ohio. I mean, even if it's a 3-hour drive, whatever, we can take a road trip. But that's all it is. Basically, is just go out to eat with the family, stream the experience, interact with all of the chat, but I don't have a name. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. If there's any other ideas that we could try while we're there, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it's all early.
All right, Coach. So we're going to bring on, that's right, the guy who's usually backstage, Londo. He's coming on for this segment. He said he wanted to give his take. So Londo has joined the fray. What's going on, my man? Glad you're awake. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk today all about French fries, which I hope my wife is watching because she loves French fries. All right, so French fries. And what are we going to talk about today, Coach?
All right, so this is the official 2022. I've got top 20, but we're going to narrow it down to top 10. Fast food French fries list, and it has to be actual just French fries, no loaded fries, chili cheese fries, whatever, just regular French fries, and it has to be at a fast food restaurant. So I'll let you guys pick who you think is going to be in this top 10 first, and then we'll go through it.
Is this only in the United States?
Yes, I'm assuming.
We're all going to pick one of this segment's going to take forever. I'm gonna go number one here. I'm gonna go number one. I'm not gonna say it's number one. I'm saying it's in top 10. Kenny bows out because he's Canadian.
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean,
fuck your list, Coach. Fuck your list. All right. So, all right. I'm gonna say McDonald's makes the top 10. I'm gonna say McDonald's makes the top 10. I know it's probably not a far fetch, but I'm making you guys really think about it. All right. Yeah. Everybody pick one, and then we'll hear the list.
Yep.
Londo.
Man, it's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Burger King. They have some awesome fries.
They are not in the top 10.
Londo does not get a right answer.
I've been craving Burger King, so that's why I went for that one.
So McDonald's is in.
Burger
King is not. I'm gonna take a guess also that McDonald's is like number 4. Andrew, what is your pick?
After experiencing their fine cuisine, I'm gonna roll with Whataburger on there.
Whataburger is on there. That's fantastic news. I didn't want to say it.
Andrew, I was going to let you take that one, man.
Whataburger makes it. McDonald's and Whataburger in the top 10. Luke, going to you.
I mean, you got to go with the Lord's Chicken, Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is in the top 10.
Chick-fil-A makes it. We got 3. All right. I'm gonna keep going until we get another one wrong. Kenny.
I kind of hope that they're in here because I think they're underrated. Arby's.
Yeah. Arby's is now. There's 2 Arby's. Okay, curly fries and crinkle fries.
Curly fry all day.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say both made the top 10.
Oh my gosh! That's a double kick.
Man,
yes,
man, I had the best pick. You all
wow.
They don't just have the meats; they have the fries.
We have 5 out of the 10 organically so far. I mean, at this point, we might as well go. Some people are saying Taco Bell. I don't know if I trust
the nacho fries.
Taco Bell is
those nacho fries.
So Taco Bell did make it.
Taco Bell is in top 10.
So the watchers have gotten one right. Okay, so we are 6 of 10. Okay, so does that mean is Jack in the Box in there?
No.
Damn. Oh, okay.
Wendy's.
Okay.
Huh?
Wendy's has good fries.
Wendy's is in the top 10. Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised actually. What about Five Guys?
No.
Popeyes.
These are the best fries.
Five Guys is not even in the top 20.
In-N-Out fries, Monster fries.
In-N-Out is number 20.
Oh my gosh, that's
all right. Let's do the list.
Okay,
yeah, let's do the list. Let's hear it.
All right, number 10 is Church's Chicken.
Oh, so good.
Nice. Never had it. They give a little description.
We had a late arrival here. Is KFC in there?
Without gravy, it's ass.
KFC is 14th.
Okay, that's respectable.
Welcome to Kenny's top 10 fries that he hasn't had.
Very cool.
Outside of McDonald's and Arby's.
All right, so number 10 was Church's. I would have never guessed that in a million years. So let's keep going.
They said Church's Chicken is very good, but sometimes well done. I guess they said they went to each one of these 10 different times to see the consistency.
Okay.
Of so,
That's a lot of fries.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 9 is A&W French fries.
Oh, fries though.
They said
I
number
always
one in
get
root
onion
beer.
rings. That's the thing.
Yeah, number 1 in root beer, number 9 in fries should be their new slogan.
Are they even in business?
Yes, there is one actually like 5 minutes from my work.
I got to go check it out. There's one here in San Antonio on Desavala Road. You guys go check out number 9 fries. Gotta check it out. Londo's
Number
close.
8, Whataburger.
It's a little low, but okay.
They said when you visit Texas, the goal is to eat as much brisket as humanly possible and try Whataburger.
Oh, absolutely.
And they said spicy ketchup is the bomb. They said so. You know,
I got some Chick-fil-A, guys.
Number 7 is the Taco Bell nacho fries.
Nacho fries comes in at 7.
They said they would have ranked them higher if they were actually a consistent menu item, but they're only there sometimes.
Yeah,
crazy to me.
Makes sense.
And number 6 is Arby's crinkle fries. Number 5 is Wendy's hot and crispy because they redid them now, so they're guaranteed to be hot and crispy, and they're not the old sea salt French fries.
Unreal though.
Really?
They're so good.
Wendy's changed their fries?
They
They're
changed their
so
fries for
good.
the first
I
time
like
in the last
these
10
salt fries.
years.
Those things are awesome.
Where have I been? Okay, I got to get that tomorrow.
The bomb.
Number 4 is Rallies, / Checkers, whichever one it is, wherever you're at.
Never had.
I don't even know what that is.
Never had.
Really?
Yeah.
That is probably
What is
my
that?
favorite fries. Like,
Okay.
they said it's the most addictive French fry because of the spice, and they're always crispy. Number 3 is Chick-fil-A's waffle fries.
Yeah,
Londo, you got some for the crew, or?
Yeah, pass that shit around, Londo.
Just for me.
Number two is McDonald's.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I thought they'd
McDonald's has always had good fries.
Oh my God.
It's Arby's.
Kenny got the number 1 answer.
Number 1 is Arby's.
Wow.
Yes.
Arby's curly fries.
Curly fries are undefeated.
They
They're
said
the
they're the
best.
most consistent
So
good French
good.
fries.
The most controversial thing I've ever said on the show. I've never eaten at Arby's.
They said
God,
if you try the
oh,
Arby's
come
sauce
on,
with the
man.
horsey sauce on it at
Roast
the same
beef
time.
and
is the
cheddar
best.
with some curlies.
No idea what that is.
You've never had the meats, dude? Come on.
Nope.
They said try the Arby's sauce and horsey sauce on it at the same time, and you'll make the face of God. Is what they said.
Oh my gosh.
God.
No idea. But
I'm intrigued. Okay, well that's the top 10 list. Coach Peanut needs a name, guys. He needs a name for his show.
Right.
Go out there, submit your names to Coach Peanut at what's your handle for Twitter, Coach?
everything's at Coach Peanut.
At Coach Peanut. Go
Yep.
check it out on there. Go message him. Matter of fact, let's plug it in here. Actually, no. We're not getting away with that. We have the BCMG parlay that's still left. That's right. One game coming up in the next 3 days that you can guarantee the money for our listeners out there. Guys, let's plug it away. I'm taking Mavericks money line game 3 Friday night. I would even say Mavericks -5. It's going to be a blowout. Taking the Mavs to win that game, but I'm saying Mavericks money line for the parlay. Kenny, you're next.
Give me Rangers puck line tomorrow at +175.
Kenny? I mean, shit.
And you know what's the best part? You can't even get me back. All my teams suck. They're not in the playoffs anyways, so joke's on you.
Oh.
There you go.
You
Joe
won
Baker.
one, so that's good.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dallas Stars tomorrow, +210 money line.
Oh my goodness. Hella
Stars?
value right now.
Money line, big time. Coach.
I'm not a big bettor, so I don't know the lines, but I'm taking Bucks at home against the Celtics. I don't know as far as,
Bucks money line. No, that's a good bet. They're probably going to be underdogs. This is going to be a huge plus. Lukey.
Yeah, well, since Kenny fucking took it, I'm telling you right now, I'm rolling whatever the line is in the Colorado Avalanche game. I mean, they smoked.
-400 right now.
It wasn't close. I mean, they closed their game.
Just take Avs puck line and you're good.
Avs puck line -210 still.
What
Avalanche?
Throw it in there.
Throw it in.
We're throwing it in there. Londo with the wild card BCMG huge parlay guarantee.
You can't put the
by Steve
Celtics
Reisman.
either.
Can't pick the Celtics.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, okay.
Don't
He
pick the
could pick
Bruins.
Celtics.
He could
game
take the
4.
Bruins.
Yeah, they just lost 6-2, so that's
they're not doing well.
Oh, yeah, but they're going home. I mean,
They just
sprinkle
lost
a
the
little
third
value.
string goalie.
Give me a winner, Londo.
Man, I don't know.
Did you say
Celtics game 4?
Miami?
Armando, I got you for one. I know you're a big hockey guy. I know you love it. But take the Washington Capitals money line at plus 210.
Yeah. I'll take that. I like the Capitals.
Let's do it. What's
Wanda,
the value on that?
I used to like
Capitals money line. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, while I am stringing up this parlay, let's go ahead and start off with sign-offs, and then we'll give a little shout-out to what that looks like. Andrew, tell the people where they can find your newest and greatest content.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Ernest. It's been a while since we've been able to do this, as we discussed. But you guys can follow me at the Boomtown Pod. We are you guys' home for all things MMA. Shout out to Mark, our video editor, just gave us a brand new intro video. It is completely fire. It's spicy like that ketchup for Whataburger. It's so damn good. Anyways, we're going live tomorrow. We're going to be breaking down some content. UFC 274 takes place this weekend, and I got a giveaway coming up tomorrow. So just in time for the weekend.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What about you, Coach? Where can the people find you?
Everything is at Coach Peanut, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Monday nights, we are live on here. We do WWE, AEW content. And then on Tuesday night, it's Rounding the Bases with Coach. We cover everything baseball. And then on Saturdays/Sundays, we're going to be doing this new show, which I'm hoping everybody jumps in there and helps me pick out a name. Other than that, I also do cooking with Coach. So there's all those.
Jesus.
What about you, Just Luke?
You can find me in Regina, Saskatchewan in September.
Let's go.
You can find me. No, you can find me on Twitter at Hearts on Hockey. Well, until the Penguins lose, it's going to be a lot of Penguins tweets, and they're probably not going to be good tweets because they and 10% lost last night because that's not goaltender interference. But I digress. We still got to win, so it doesn't really matter. But you can follow me. I think it's King of Hearts, I do believe. King of Hearts 82. You can follow me.
I think that's still the same.
Yeah.
Kenny, the newest member of BCMG. How are you feeling about this parlay?
I like the parlay. I am the parlay guy, as everyone knows. We actually, as of the Leafs losing tonight, cashed this morning's parlay of plus 675. So hope that all the listeners tailed that this morning. Live shows every morning at 6 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. On the weekends, we go a bit later. You got to sleep in a little bit, right? So 9 a.m. my time, 11 a.m. Eastern time for that. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Ernest. Are you expecting me to go longer or what?
Yeah, 100%.
Second mute. Oh, you got muted again. Ernest, can you sign off?
Is he in a different world right now? Or?
I think so. Love the dog that keeps signing and bringing the ball back.
But this has been Ernest Silva for the Into the Lab podcast. You can check us out on Into the Lab Pod on Twitter.
Also, special thanks to our sponsors, of course, Taquito Express, the always delicious triple-double basketball academy, like you said, coming to you live in Cape Cod, their store, The Legend. Also, BetUS, Blue Collar Media Group, New Wave Designs, Creation Snacks, and Glitch Energy. Make sure you use the code BCMG for 25% off.
And we will see you guys next week for Into the Lab.
That's not bad. I'm actually a fan of it. Guys, that parlay plus 90-30. So
plus 9,000. Let's do it.
Go drop 50. Go drop 50 on that right now. Guaranteed hit.
Win 60 grand.
I should have thought of my pick some more.
We need to trade off on the sign off more often. That was great, guys.
Are we still live?
Yeah. We are still live. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Good luck on your picks.
Okay, bye.